Hi. Welcome to episode 10, Ramona The Airstream, checking in, wanting to show you our progress, things we're doing, which honestly isn't a ton today, but we're keeping you in the loop nevertheless. So hope you're all doing wonderful. I know you're so excited for us to say, it's all done, it's beautiful, and look at this cool thing we did. We didn't really do any cool things since the last time we talked to you.
Why haven't we had major progress?
Well, a couple things. For one, because we're trying to do life at the same time we're renovating an Airstream. So I feel like if you ever full-time quit your whole life and your whole job and 100% work on your trailer restoration, you could probably do it pretty fast, but we don't do that. So while we work full-time and while we go camping and while we have visitors and while there's holidays and kids' birthdays, we maybe don't do a lot.
Been a busy couple of weeks.
But aside from that, we have found with just about all things that we do, including trailer restoration, that sometimes you intend to do something, you think it's going to be something simple, and then all these extra little details that you didn't plan for come up. So that being said, last time we talked, we showed you how we cut out the section of the floor, and right now we're working on treating the frame and replacing the subfloor to finish foundational stuff so that we can work on some of the, sorry, child riding her bike at the phone. I thought it was going down. Anyway, gone, train of thought gone. What was I saying? Oh, trying to do all the foundational
strawberry banana
stuff.
smoothies.
Anyway, so we were working on the frame, so let's show you what happened with that. We're going in. So the plan is still to do some frame repair and then treat the rest with a product that is going to stop it from rusting anymore, and then replace the subfloor. So we have the new wood purchased, we have some of the templates cut and ready to go. But the frame, we've talked a lot about the frame, but it's super important. And as we were under here doing stuff, we've got this one section of frame that's looking like maybe it's not going to support our house and our family. I'll show you. Come over here. Down. Okay. You want to point it out, Tom? You want to be like a Vanna? Vanna White?
Of what?
Vanna White. People even know who she is anymore?
Vanna White?
Vanna, you know, she was from the game show, and she was the one that was like, you have one. Never mind.
No.
Forget it. Tom doesn't know what I'm talking about. You guys know who Vanna White is, right?
Yeah, so there's a couple pieces missing, as you can probably see there on the video, although it's kind of far away. Pretty obvious. And so you could tell the black tank that was back here was definitely not original, and it was it's metal, it's kind of heavy, and I'm pretty sure they're plastic normally. So whenever they cut into that, I don't know what they were thinking with this situation and why that happened, but evidently from what I've learned from asking around is that not only is your rear cross member that the shell sits on and attaches to, not only is that the most important one, but the bottom of the cross member is what really takes the majority of the load and does the majority of the support. So if it is broken, that's a problem. So so anyway, we posted in our Airstream group asking around, what should we do? Should we just patch it? Should we cut the whole thing out, replace it? Hoping not to have to hire welders and do all that, but you're renovating an Airstream, so you never know what you're going to get. And so that's what we did. So we actually had a welder guy come out here this morning, and he took a look at this. He said it's actually going to be pretty easy. It's only going to take him a couple hours. So that's good. And he also said, well, actually not him, but one of the other guys, and he confirmed, I guess, that all of these cross members have these holes in them, and it's so you can like run plumbing and different things through them. But I don't think there's really anything back here that needs to run through here. So we're just going to put a solid piece, make a solid cross member. And from what some Airstream people were saying is, you know, the more metal you got, the stronger it's going to be, the more it's going to support. Plus, this is a very common place that rodents like to get into the belly pan and mess with your insulation and, you know, stuff that's back there. So when you put a solid piece, you got some rodent protection as well. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So he's going to be out sometime this week and chop that out. That said, that besides the you know, family coming into town for a few days, that was amazing. Camping, kids' birthday parties, all the other things that have happened in the last couple weeks. This is one more thing that has led to a little bit of delay in getting to treat the frame. You know, why get out all the metal prep and rust prevention and all this stuff and work on this entire section and leave that one piece out? You might as well just knock it all out together. So anyway, so he should be out this week, and on our next episode, my expectation is that this whole area will be treated, and at that point we can then put the subfloor back in over here.
Hopefully the floor will even be back in by then.
So that'll be exciting. Yeah, hopefully the floor will be back in by then.
And then we
We
can
also need to figure out what to do with this, right? We're supposed to replace that?
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
And then once we do that, then we'll do the exact same thing on the other side. On the front.
Yeah. I was just looking over there actually and curious if we should replace the side panel of the Airstream.
Oh my goodness. Tom keeps wanting to replace more and more things. More and more things.
I mean, it's not that I want to, but this section of body over here of the shell was replaced at one point. You can tell just a different color, and then there's all different rivets across there. So it was replaced at one point. Yeah, let me get that out and take a look. That didn't really do a whole lot.
What are you trying to do?
Yeah,
know
right,
what you're
as you can
saying.
see here. Alright, you can see here, which you can hardly see, this is a rivet. These are buck rivets, I think. You can hardly see them, right? Now, you can visibly see quite a bit of difference here. These are Olympic rivets. Apparently, you're not actually supposed to put panels on with Olympic rivets, from what I've read. But anyway, reason I say maybe we should replace this piece is because there is the furnace here and the hot water heater. These are both coming out. For one, the furnace doesn't work. I don't know about the hot water heater, but once those come out, we haven't really determined what we're gonna do for furnace. But from what I've read is some of the other furnace or new furnace, like you don't really require that. I don't know, apparently I need to do some more research. Hot water heater. We're thinking about doing like a tankless hot water heater, so then you don't have to worry about the hot water filling up. As you can see, this hot water tank is like, I don't know, maybe like 4 gallons or 5 gallons or something. And so, anyway, that's a pretty quick shower. And then it's got to heat up all over again for the next person. With the tankless hot water heater, you don't have to worry about heating up water. It's just heats it up on demand.
Well, that, and I mean, any piece that we, new furnace, new hot water, whatever, like pretty much everything that's made new probably works a little bit more efficiently, probably uses a little bit less power, and is smaller and takes up less space. So every inch of space is important because we don't have very much of it, and everything that we have and own and need to live and cook and wear needs to fit in this tiny space. So like, if replacing these things could make a whole extra cabinet available for space, then let's do that. So anyway, we're getting rid of these things, and I think where Tom was going with that is all these things are vented to the outside, so there's holes on the outside of this panel that don't necessarily need to be there. So we could either patch them up, which then makes your outside silver pieces basically look like a patchwork quilt, which I'm cool with. I like patchwork quilts, but Tom is a little more like nice and clean and put together, and I'm a little more thrown together and patchy. So Tom wants to.
Yeah, I mean, look at this shirt. All these moths got into it. Ate this thing.
Supposed to be
Yeah,
like
she just
that.
threw it back together, tied some knots, and it's good to go.
Not this shirt, but I do have shirts like not moths.
Yeah, so yeah, there are some big holes on here. And so yeah, you can either just like cut out a piece of aluminum and rivet it, and then you got this patch, right? Or you can like create a door. And so like there's a door on the back of the hot water heater right now. You open that up, gets you access to all the gas controls. So like if you put a door there, then it kind of looks like it's there on purpose and nobody really knows that you
But it's like a door that
patched it.
goes to nothing.
Yeah, I mean it would, in theory it would go to the back of your kitchen cabinets in case you need to.
You know, that reminds me of, you know, those like old creepy houses that have like a door coming out of the second story, but then there's like nothing there, like where you just open the door and walk out and die. Like maybe there's supposed to be a porch there or something, but there's not. It's like, what does the door go to?
Well, I don't think you'd be able to walk out the store because it's only
I understand
like
that,
2
but
feet
I'm
wide
just saying it reminds me
and
of
2
doors
feet off
that
the
go
ground.
to nothing.
So those are a couple options: the door or the patch, or
We're
like
probably just gonna replace the whole panel
you
because
just replace the whole
Tom
panel, and then
likes
it's just
to
a nice
do things
clean
right.
panel.
He likes things to be
Plus,
nice.
too, like, you gotta look at the back of this furnace, this vent. I don't know what the heck they did. If they drew the little rectangle of where it needed to be cut, and then they just like took a knife and like went like that before they finally like hit the line. But there's like scratches all over the dang thing. And, like maybe they'll buff out, but
We're gonna replace the whole panel. Tom's on one. I can tell. I can see. So anyway, that's what we've been doing. Not a lot of kind of anything. We've been doing a lot of prep work, and the little things that we're doing, I think, shouldn't be like I don't know. Talk to like it's easy to say, oh, we've done nothing, but so I read this. What?
Oh, nothing.
I read this book once. It's a good book. If you've never read it, I strongly recommend it. But the concept of this book was that basically, like, unless you're doing something huge and you have the time to do something huge and you like accomplish some big thing, it's easy to feel like you just did nothing, or like what's the point if you can't do the whole thing, when in reality it's all these tiny little pieces that add up to a lot, right? Like you might say, I don't have time to read books that help me learn or grow because you don't have a bunch of time to sit around and read a book, where in reality is if you read a page a day, or even if you only read a paragraph a day, whatever, like over time, you still accomplish something. So I say we didn't do
That's your inspirational, motivational, transformational talk for
snippet
today.
of Ramona The Airstream. You get Airstream work, you get life advice, wisdom, but really like slide edge in it. We say that all the time. It's like become a term that we've used since we've read that book. And it's like, oh, maybe you don't have hours to go work on the trailer, or maybe we don't have, you know, the floor and the frame ready to say we did some big project, but like pounding on a dent or drilling out some rivets or scraping the gunk off of something in preparation to work on it later, like all those things count and they all add up. So we have been working, we've just been slide edging it, right? That's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
So nothing big to show, but
Prepping more frame, sanding off rust. There's a lot of like rivets that we like, you know, drilled out to remove pieces and panels where the head came off, and so the panel dropped off. Mission accomplished, but the rest of the rivet was still back up in there. So I've been underneath the trailer, like finishing drilling out the rest of the rivets and prepping frame. Just doing any little thing we can. Took off a couple emblems over there. Probably not the best to do that first though. Now we've got like 4 almost
I noticed you did that.
dime-sized holes in the side of the trailer, so.
We figure it out as we go along. So, well, we thought we would show you, since we don't have big work to show you, we thought we would talk a little bit about kind of our plan. You're going to have to put on like your creative thinking caps for this part, because we showed you the before of the trailer, and if you missed that, you could go back to episode 1 and see what she looked like before we ripped it all apart, and we've been showing you your progress, and we've been talking a little bit about our plans, but we thought we'd kind of talk layout and try to help you visualize what we're doing here, because right now it kind of looks like a hot mess, but in my brain, it's so beautiful. There's so many good, happy, pretty things happening in our like little home on wheels. They just exist in my brain, so we'll see if we can imagine them. So I'm going to back you up a little bit.
Want me to follow you around or something while you're talking?
No, I'm just going to have a wider angle here so we can see the whole thing. I guess you can kind of follow around. So over here this is the front
I'm just gonna
of
follow
the
it around.
trailer.
I'm not gonna hear anything.
So what are you saying?
Don't worry about it.
Are you flipping
There we
the wrong
go.
way?
All right.
So up here is the front of the trailer. This is where it attaches to the truck. And this is going to be kind of a multi-functional zone. So up here is going to be Tom and my bed, as well as like the kitchen table. So before, if you remember before, there was like a couch and it pulled out into, didn't really have a table. There was like a little pull-out stupid table thing that, I don't know. We're not
I hope y'all are really like creative. Getting
really
some
have to
visuals here.
Imagine you see this big empty space.
Yeah.
It's going to be a dining room and a bedroom.
So,
What we're going to do,
I think what we should do, like soon after this, is like compile pictures of the different things that we like and want to incorporate.
like steal everybody else's pictures and show them Pinterest.
Well, we're not going to steal them. We're going to give them credit, honey. Hello. But just so that we can show them our inspiration and kind of the ideas that we have.
To use their imagination.
Okay, so you watcher person who may or may not have ever seen an Airstream before, nor the interior of a remodeled Airstream,
This is what I want
put
you to
on your
imagine.
creative
Put
thinking
on your
caps.
thinking cap.
And think of something
So
you've never
here
thought of
is going to be
before.
like a U-shaped dinette, okay? So you're going to have, I see you making faces at me, cushion here, here, and here, okay?
U-shape.
U-shaped
Following the
dinette.
curve there.
Okay? And in the middle of it will be our kitchen table. So during the day, you can sit, you can use the table, kids will homeschool here, I imagine lessons happening here, meals happening here, Legos, drawing, coloring books, life will happen here. Come nighttime, table pops down, and then the cushions transform into a bed. So bedroom and dining table all in one space.
The table pushes down to be like exactly level with the benches,
Right,
so you've got a flat
Which is a very
surface.
standard RV thing. I'm sure most people know that, right? RVs work like that. Boats work like that.
Right.
Right. Yeah, people know that, Tom. They know that. Pretty wooden table. I'm feeling corduroy fabric. I've got a thing for big, fat corduroy. Maybe brown, so that when my kids spill stuff on it, it's less likely to ruin everything. That'll be something that we will certainly invest in, making sure it's decent, because it's going to be our bed. So it has to be comfortable. And Tom and I went years with an awful mattress that's not a lot of fun. And we recently finally bought a really good mattress, and life is so much happier with a really good mattress. And now we're going to sleep on some cushions in a trailer. So we're going to try to get really good, comfy cushions. Okay? So, bedroom, dinette. Up here will be shelves. The one thing that we have to keep is the original control panel. If you remember back to the first one, I probably talked about it because I absolutely loved how awesome it was.
What she doesn't know is when I pulled it off, I kind of cut one of the main wires going to it, and I'm not sure what the wire was for because it's not a normal wire. It was kind of like a threaded steel. I don't know if it was maybe for like
You broke it?
thermometer. I have no idea
You
what
broke my
it was
thing?
for. I don't
My
know.
favorite thing, you broke it. I believe in you. You're gonna fix it. It's gonna be great. Okay, bedroom. Over here, this whole situation is gonna be a kitchen and like some cabinets, counters, storage. All cabinets underneath from
What color?
here.
What color cabinets?
You know what, we've been talking about that. We're
Oh,
curious your opinion.
we've been talking about that.
We have.
You and the listeners?
Yeah, me and you.
Oh, so they're just supposed to know.
No, we're undecided. So the cabinets are going to
You're
be
supposed to be
light.
talking to
I
them.
would love your opinion,
Tell them.
listener.
How are they supposed to create a visual in their mind, honey, if you don't tell them the details?
So when I tell you these details, let us know if you imagine them white
Come on, Donna
or
Gobblegone.
light wood. We want everything white, light, bright, so it just feels like open in here. But also, we've got kids and a dog, and we ruin everything. So do we want white cabinets, or do we want a light wood cabinet? Undecided. But there will be light covered cabinets all along until about here-ish. But this is going to be kitchen. So we will have counters. We're thinking like a wood, like a thin wood counter. We did butcher block in our house, and it's awesome, but it's thick and it's heavy, and we need to be lightweight, so maybe thinner, lighter colored cabinets. But there will be the stove over here, the sink over here, kind of kitchen space, and then a long counter here. Up top, instead of having cabinets like we had before that closed, we're thinking like an open shelf, almost like a floating shelf. I don't know if it's gonna float, it might need a bracket, but whatever. Like open shelves where we have like storage baskets. I really like baskets. I have a thing for wicker baskets. So there'll be baskets up here that hold stuff and jars for food, and there's gotta be plants. Plants have to happen. Plants, cute things will be up here. Working kitchen space here, long cabinet here, all the way till here, which is what was here before, will be here again, a closet. So like a closet that'll have some space to hang clothes, but also like drawers, and that's where we'll store most of our clothes. Right? The other half of our kitchen is gonna be right here. So here's gonna be a refrigerator. Somewhere between a full-size refrigerator and a mini fridge. Most RVs have like a mini refrigerator, and one huge perk to starting with this blank empty canvas is we can build it exactly what we need for our family. So those little refrigerators are not, we cook so much food, we eat so much food happens in this life, we're gonna need a closer to full-size, small but bigger refrigerator. A little more cabinet space over here, some pantry, like pantry storage, food.
Is there going to be a countertop over there?
Small one, yeah. So refrigerator, counter, like a little bit of counter space with a cabinet. Forgot the word. A cabinet. You like know what I mean when I go like this, right? Right, watchers? Cabinet here. Here-ish is going to be a dividing wall, like a small half wall that we're going to need for support, and that's kind of going to separate this little kitchen area from what's going to be the kids' bedrooms. Hi, Betty. Don't come in because you don't have shoes on, okay? What? Do you have to pee? Can you stop grabbing yourself? You're on live TV.
Ask if Justice can play at the park.
I need you to wait because we're not going across the street without us, and we're going to have dinner.
Okay.
But maybe in a little bit. Thank you.
Love you, though, dude.
With me too?
Huh?
With me too?
What about with you two?
Like, can I cross the street with someone?
No, just wait. Can you wait? We're doing a video, please. Thank you. There's going to be a small wall here, which is going to separate, like, the kids' bedroom area, I guess, this little kitchen-y area. So here we're going to build bunk beds. I think we've talked about that before. But Juliet's will be the top bunk, And then the boys will be like, kind of like a futon, where it's gonna be a couch by day, pull-out bed by night. So they're gonna have to share, which isn't awesome, but they're still small, so it's gonna be fine when this transfers later on in life to our like weekend getaway trailer opposed to our living trailer. And they're big. They're not gonna like that, but we'll cross that road when we get there. For now, boys are sharing a big bed that we'll pull out, and underneath it will be more drawers for more clothes and more storage. And then just where it was before, it's going to be all the bathrooms. So we'll have the shower over here, you know, sink, bathroom stuff, toilet, and then over here another closet. Not really a closet, but like more shelving unit. Hold stuff. So somehow in all that, and those little cabinets here, and that little cabinet here, and little drawers here, we're going to fit our whole life for a family of 5. The dog's just going to sleep in the middle of the floor. So that's kind of layout plans as far as what it looks like. You're just going to have to be surprised. But we want to do light. We like wood. We like natural elements. We're going to do some wood-ish style laminate flooring, white panels, open shelves, cute things.
Yep, very light and white and airy. The all the interior walls and skins right now are like a, I don't know, off-white, cream, weird textured colors. So we're gonna paint all those white. Be nice and bright in here.
I feel like that'll open it up a little bit. Make it look. I feel like you have more space, even though you don't really have a lot of space. But that's the plan. We like some like 70s style decor. I feel like I want to keep a little bit of the vintage vibe going, but just brighter, lighter and brighter. With things like corduroy and some funky fabrics and cool vintage blankets and fun things.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts? What do you want to add to that, Tom?
Yeah, whatever she says.
Whatever I say. What do you have to say?
It's time to get out my tools, get to work, make this thing happen.
Well, anyway, can we like back that thing up so it's not like so in my face? Stop it.
Oh my god.
Why don't you put it in the thing? Put it in the thing.
What?
You're holding it. You're filming like the Blair Witch Project or something. Nobody can hopefully you've seen the Blair Witch Project. Otherwise, that was weird. And
Don't see it.
I mean, don't see it, but if you didn't see it, that made news. But anyway, shaky filming of holding it is terribly obnoxious. You got to put it in the little tripod so that it's steady. Nobody likes a shaky cameraman. Blair Witch projecting it. Anyway, hopefully you're really creative and you can visualize all that. Tom says that you need more visuals, but I believe in you.
I need visuals,
think
'cause
you
I don't really know what I'm doing.
can
You
imagine.
guys see what I'm
I
doing.
think you can imagine that. I'll tell you what you're doing as we get to it.
Just good at that.
Anyway, thanks for following along. We will hopefully have some more work progress to show you next time we meet instead of just slight edging it. But it's coming along little by little, project by project. Later.
Bye.